Hello all, how have y'all been doing? Good? Well, I'm doing pretty decent. Currently, my humble abode is getting snowed in by 2 feet of snow, and it's also thundering outside, which I don't know how that's possible if it's snowing, but I digress. Today we're going to be reviewing the new Amazon Prime show, 56 Days, that is kind of based on a novel, but it's their own adaptation of it. And the main reason why I wanted to make a review of this 9-episode series is because of the two main characters in it, which I think is absolutely hilarious that they decided to make them the main cast for the show. And it's because when I first saw the first episode, I was like, this guy looks familiar, right? The main guy in the show. And I was like, huh, he looks familiar. I swear to God, I've seen him somewhere before. And my girlfriend, who I was watching with at the time, said, hey, he's actually Beck from Victorious. I was like, wait, you mean like Beck as in Jade's boyfriend in Victorious, the Nickelodeon show? She was like, yeah. So I looked it up and come to find out, holy schmoly, he is that guy. And then I thought, damn. If this 56 Days show is about murder, crime, and lust and love and this relationship, then this dude is cheating hard on Jade. Sure, I know it's been 10 years and things may happen, but I still feel a little bit upset about it. Coming from a guy that was raised in 2000s and saw that show, and now seeing him basically muck this other chick from, not Nickelodeon, but Disney. And this actress, I don't know what her name is in the show, or actress name, but she is more well known for making the Descendants movie trilogy on Disney Channel and like other shows variant from that from like back in 2015. And I think it's pretty funny how they have a Nickelodeon star and a Disney star where their acting careers was based around children's content, where now in this show she is flashing her freaking boobies just randomly, and half of the plot is them just banging each other. I just think that's absolutely hilarious. But anyways, with the show, the main plot is this bathtub with this dead guy in it that kind of dissolved into soup, and detectives find it, and they're trying to figure out who the person in the bathtub is and who killed him. And the reason why the show is called 56 Days is it goes from the present to 56 days in the past prior to the killing, and showing these two characters, Beck, Jade's boyfriend, and the main actor from Descendants, and their relationship and how that leads to the events that are in the present. And there's two stories. Technically, it's like the detective side, them trying to solve the case, and the relationship side of Beck and the actress. Now, there's a fair amount of boobies in this show, and from the Descendants actress. And they're like jump scares, especially if you're watching it with your girlfriend. Because when she just flashed her titties out of nowhere, my girlfriend I could feel her eyes drill a hole in the side of my temple, seeing if I was either pitching a tent or looking at the screen a second longer than necessary, or then she'd beat my ass. I didn't. I've seen movies, even back when I was younger, where it had that type of content. And I was like, it's whatever. And I passed the test, thank God. But the show starts off with these two strangers meeting, the actress and Beck. And within like 24 hours, they become they're strangers. They meet each other. They're like, hey, you're cool. Let's go on a date. They go on a date. Then they continue onwards. Like 2 days later, they just start banging each other. I'm like, okay, that's pretty fast. Then 2 days after that, they decide to move in together. and it's for like specific reasons in the plot, which I'm not going to spoil. And by the way, this is a spoiler-free video, so a lot of the stuff I might say is vague because of that. But I just feel like that the first 3 episodes, which only like dictates like the first week in the past, speed runs it so fast. Like they come from strangers to banging each other and living together within a whole week. And there is a specific part in the show, which this isn't really spoilers or anything, but they have an argument like every couples do from time to time. They have an argument, and by this time, it's a month into their relationship, and the dude's like, I don't know why you're upset. I barely even know you. Like, we're strangers. And I'm like, no crap, buddy. Lay out. Yeah, you're definitely strangers, but you're also freaking mucking each other every other night and living together, but you are saying that you're strangers? I just feel like that's just a crazy concept that they decided to throw out there, especially with how fast they sped around this relationship. But now let's stop talking about the characters within the past. Let's talk about the present and the detectives. The show in the today's timeline has a guy and a girl detective, and they're investigating the case, and throughout the entire show, they literally find absolutely zero clues. There is no development in the case, and there's no really evidence that they procure other than just talking to people that are associated with the main characters, Beck and Disney Star. And they just drop hints of stuff, but there's like really no evidence or fact that they find. It's like their investigation just leads to nothing, and even towards the end of the show, they really get nothing out of their investigation. And because of this, I feel like that the show decided to have a side plot where the girl detective is having a fling with a drug dealer, and this drug dealer is a bad guy. He's going to be after her if she breaks it off. And this whole side plot is just based around that, while at the same time they're trying to disclose what happened with the killing. And you get zero hints with the investigation of like who was the person in the bathtub and who actually killed the person in the bathtub. And it kind of dissolves into just the cops really dealing with this drug dealer fling that the girl cop is associated with. And they tie that into the ending of the show, I think, very poorly. And I feels like that they added that plot in specifically to end the show in a very fast way. Now, jumping back to the past with the main co-stars, there's like a really random plot point they have where Beck's, well, Beck is called Oliver in the show, and funny enough, in Victorious, his name is called Beck Oliver in Victorious, and in this show too, his first name's Oliver. I thought that was a really funny coincidence. But anyways, his father in the show died, and he was really good friends with CEO guy, this big company that basically adopts Oliver into his life, where he even works under him and treats him more so like a father to son. And it's really weird because they sprinkle into there that he used to be gay for his father, and now he's kind of gay for him too by showing scenes of him like slowly caressing his arm and giving him that weird look where it's like if you're straight, you just don't do that. And it comes to the point where they sprinkle this in a bit more, and even Beck is like, dude, I know you used to be gay for my dad, but this is weird. Just completely abandon that. They don't resolve that at all. They just say, oh, by the way, this guy is gay for his best friend's son. That's it. They don't resolve that plot point at all, and I feel like that's a really big bummer, because that could have been something fun to at least go through and resolve, but they never really touched the topic directly. It was like always in passing, which I thought was odd. Now, throughout the entire show, it's very slow paced, and you're trying to figure out who killed the person in the bathtub and who the person in the bathtub is. and they sprinkle hints that really lead to nothing. For the last 30 minutes of the show, which I'm going to touch on now. By the way, I'm not going to spoil the ending, spoiler free, but with everything they showed prior to the finale and all the hints, it amounts to literally nothing. Who you think the person in the bathtub is complete speculation, not based on the crap that you see within the show, but just an absolute complete blind guess. And who the person in the bathtub is, how they died, and who killed them, it makes no sense at all. And within the finale, the first 30 minutes, they don't really do anything with the plot. They just continue it like normal. Then the last 30 minutes, they speed run everything, try to tie up things very loosely on the cops' end with the drug dealer and the couple's end of who killed this guy. They reveal it, how they died, and who killed him. And it is the most nonsensical death possible. And in order to explain without spoilers, it's like how they died, they shouldn't have died from it at all, based on what the actor did, showed, and what they did. It was just really dumb for plot point convenience of saying, oh, the guy died from it. I was like, okay, whatever. You can let that go by. Then, on the cops' end, they try and tie the drug dealer in to the main case. And how they do that to resolve the story, I feel like is such a throwaway, because they basically go against basic investigation and just the realism and, well, not even realism. It's like, without really spoiling it, it's kind of like they ignored everything they just did with the investigation to that point, and they threw it all away just to tie up the ending and their side plot with this drug dealer. Just to resolve the story, because it felt like that they just ran out of time to make episodes to make it go smoothly. And they just said, here you go, like it or not, this is how it ends. And it doesn't make sense, but this is how it ends, and that's how it goes. And I just don't like that at all. And they make it as a big, shocking surprise when, in reality, if this was a real investigation in the real world and if they tried to pull this stunt, it would have never worked ever. But because it is within this story to resolve this plot and to have a conclusion to the story, which they never really showed a conclusion to or hints of a conclusion, I feel like just completely ruined the show. And the final ending is fine. It's just how they concluded it to get to that point. I feel like they could have done a lot better with, and they could have made it a lot smoother if they had an extra episode to flesh it out more. Because this ending is as surface level as it gets. There's no explanation, no explaining of anything really. But with all of this rambling, what do I think personally? Honestly, if you like investigative crime slash thriller with romance, I think you'll like the show. And regardless if you've seen Victorious or the Descendants trilogies, I feel like you're going to like it. And if you know who the actors are in the show and you've seen their previous work like Victorious, then I think you're going to like it even more just because of that nostalgia factor. Is it worth watching? Yes and no. It's just if you're into that type of genre, then I'll say go for it. But don't expect too much out of it, especially for the ending. That's my review. If you guys have the same opinions or different, please comment it below. I'd love to discuss with you guys and see your different perspectives on it. Well, that's it for today. See you guys later. Deuces.